Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be going over the process that I go through while I'm making my GFX. Obviously none of them are the same, but I'm going to go through one of the processes that I did to make this GFX. So the first thing that I do is I obviously load up ROBLOX Studio, I load in a character, and if I don't already have like the style that I want for it, I go looking for some accessories to put on them, and then I stylize them and add anything else that I want to do. Throughout the time, I have a lot of trial and errors. I add stuff, think that doesn't really go well with what I'm trying to do, and I delete them and go looking for other stuff. Then I export my character and I open Blender so that I can actually get the work started. So the first thing that I do in Blender is I load up my rig, obviously. The rig will be in the description, and a tutorial on how to use this rig will be in the description. There are, I don't want to say a lot of steps to do while using this rig because it's actually easier than a lot of other rigs like the paint rig. It's definitely easier to use than that one. So here I try to add the textures of the models, and I realized these aren't the right textures and the actual textures didn't export. So here I'm just like trying to figure out what actually happened, comparing that textures that I have in Blender to the ones in ROBLOX Studio, and I realized that I'm probably never gonna get the right textures. So I decided to just abandon the whole idea of the whole outfit and just add some more accessories. So obviously, sometimes through the process, you just have a lot of fails, but it takes a lot for me to just keep going, because at that point I'm like, wow, I don't want to do this GFX anymore. It's probably going to turn out trash and I'm going to waste my time. But in this process, I decided to just go with it, see how it turns out. So here I am. I decided to actually use some of the same, not some of the same, I used the same aura, and then I got some horns. So basically the kind of theme of this GFX is a glowing figure like in fog with some light around it. So I decided, the textures don't really matter since I'm just gonna add an emission texture, and it's not really gonna be noticeable. So here I am adding a room around it, adding a texture, just a plain black texture with some roughness, and adjusting the specular. Then here I am adding the actual fog to the GFX, adjusting it, seeing what kind of colors I want to use for the GFX, making the mission textures for the horns and the aura, adding some light so I can actually see, experimenting with just a whole bunch of different stuff. It takes a lot of trial and error to actually produce what you are thinking in your mind. At this point, Blender crashed and I didn't save anything, but Blender has a really good autosave system, so I didn't really lose anything, thank God. So I saved it and named it Save Dummy, because gosh, I just get so wrapped up in the actual process that I forget to save. Sometimes it bites me in the ass. So here I am adding the lights, At first I was going to do red lights, but then I decided that purple looked better, and I was like, I don't really just want purple, so I added a cyan. Then I start posing the character and posing the camera. For this one, I wanted like a kind of long focal length. I kind of wanted this character to be kind of lonely, but also kind of hold empowerment. So the pose and the camera and the focal length really affect what you want to do with your GFX. It's a really important piece. So here I am just finishing up, and I do the render, and after one McDonald's break later, the render is actually rendered. So I come back to the render and I see that it's kind of noisy. So I re-render it, and I forgot to turn off my recording software, so it literally recorded 10 hours because I slept while the second render was rendering, so it just recorded a full like 11 hours, and I just thought that was really funny. Alright, so after that, I go into Photoshop, and it's still kind of noisy, but I didn't want to re-render it because I was way too lazy, so I just decided to go in with blur and fix some of that. Obviously, there's probably a better way of fixing noise in render, but I was too lazy, and I thought, you know, blending it is good enough. Sometimes I add a new window so I can see what it looks like from far away and from close up, but I decided not to do that with this GFX. So here I am adding a glow. I was gonna add emission in Blender, but I forgot, so I'm just adding it in Photoshop, which I usually do. So what I do is I add the color on the horns and the aura. I blur it a little bit, and then I erase the actual parts that I want to glow, so the aura and the horns, I erase that, and then after that I blur it so it's not as noticeable. So that's usually just like the basic things that I do for the glow, but for this one I kind of wanted it to be more apparent, so I did a few different things to make it more glowier. Here I am adding some particles. I saw the brushes and I thought, you know, this is way too good to not add. So with these, these are actually smoke brushes, but I thought they were actually pretty cool. So I added one to the left arm and it looked really nice, so I tried to add another one to the right arm, but for some reason it just didn't really look that good, so I decided to try to get something else for the brush, but I ended up getting distracted because you'll see in a minute, but I saw this really cute brush and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to use this, so I did. Here's a brush I get distracted with, so I just since the render, the actual character isn't apart from the background, I just had to erase some of it to actually look like it's behind the character. And then I added a gradient, which was kind of hard because I had the blending mode and overlay, and with that it kind of gives like a sharp, it's not really gradient, it's just two sharp colors next to each other. And you really have to adjust the colors to make it look like the colors that you want. So as you can see, I kind of had to make it green and pink just for it to look purple and cyan in the actual GFX. Alright, so I was just looking through brushes and I saw these lightning brushes that I just couldn't resist, so I added those into the kind of, I'm not sure what to call those power ball thingies, but the aura, I'll just call it the aura for now. So I added those into the aura. I gave it some more glow. Also gave the horns more glow because I thought that it was kind of too dim. I wanted it to be more bright. Alright, so here I am adding some more lighting to it, because I wanted the lighting in the background to actually affect everything that I'm putting in the Photoshop, in Photoshop, so it looks like that it's actually just a render. Lights. And then I add a black border, I blur it a little bit, and then I also mess around with some more depth with the lighting. So here I am adding some more packs. At this point I was kind of like, okay, I'm kind of stuck, so I'm just gonna add some stocks and see how they look. Most of them I really liked, so I added a little bit of light coming from the top. I thought that looked really cute. And then I saw these hexagon thingies. If you asked me where I got all these stocks, I really wouldn't know. I'd probably just tell you from Discord servers and YouTube videos, things like that. So I just bunched these up together, added a blending mode, and I blurred it a little bit. I think I blurred it with radial blur, added it to the other side, and adjusted it a little bit. So here is a tricky part in the GFX that I had like problems with. So I really wanted these cute particles, and at first I thought they were really cute, but the more that I went on, I saw that they kind of looked low quality and not like blurred, but like if you zoomed in, you could like tell that it was like low quality. So I tried to make these brighter. I tried to put the opacity down. I tried to blur it so it looked less quality, but you know, not a lot of things worked, and I decided just to lower the opacity at the end. And then I load in a GFX. Oh wait, before that, I add some red and blue on the sides, and you're probably asking like, why are you adding red and blue? It's a blue and purple GFX, but I actually do this with a lot of my GFX. I just think it gives it a lot more depth and it colorizes it a lot better. Even if you don't have red or blue in your GFX, it can really help. So if you like put it on, I put it on, I don't think I put it on a blending mode. I think I just lowered the opacity. I might have put it on overlay, I'm not completely sure. But as you can see, it just gives more color depth to it. Here I am loading up a pack. I got this off YouTube, so you can really just search for it. Sometimes when I think I'm done with the GFX, I just like to load up some GFX packs or some stocks and see if I can add some extra things. So one thing that I wanted to talk about for this is that my main idea was blue. So I wanted a main color to be blue, but I see a lot of people who like they want the main color to be this one color, but when you're really just adding one color to the GFX, it looks flat, it doesn't look good. So I really recommend adding different colors, whether it's overlays that you add or particles. If you have a black GFX and add some yellow particles, stuff like that, it really makes it look better. So here I am adding some stocks. I made the character brighter because I thought it was kind of too dim, especially since I wanted the character to be the main theme of the GFX. At the end, I actually brighten it because I think it looks way too dim. These two particles I didn't like, so I just deleted them. And then I think that's all I did. I just adjusted the layers a little bit. like I said, I brightened up the piece. I also added my Roblox username on there. Not that anyone would really want to steal my GFX, especially since this one doesn't really look that good. But I just like to add my name on there just in case. I know a lot of other GFX artists have this one watermark and they just add it onto everything, but I don't really like to do that because I think one watermark doesn't really fit a bunch of different GFX. So I do stick with just my Roblox username, but I do adjust the fonts and stuff like that. So before this, I actually did some other GFX this week. So here I am showing you guys. I didn't really like that one. I did that one a few days ago, and basically just for the end of this GFX video, just telling you guys what I do. Since this is the process of my GFX. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below if you have any questions, things like that. Bye!